Hello friends. Hello friends. My name is Muhammad. In this video, I am going to tell you about RCC structure. Okay, RCC structure, which includes definition and also drawing. Okay. After that, we are also going through the designing process. Okay. First, I am going to discuss about main and critical structure, that is column. Okay. Column is also called as vertical member or compression member. When load is applied on the column through beams, this member gets compressed, so that's why we call it as compression member. Okay, the load of the slab is transferred to the beams, and then the beam transfer the load to the columns, and then to the footing, and then to the foundation, and after that to the soil. Okay, so let's get started. So I am going to discuss about the classifications of columns. Classifications. Columns are mainly classified into 4 types. And the first one is based on shape, based on shape, based on reinforcement, third one is based on type of loading, based on type of loading, fourth one is based on slenderness ratio, based on slenderness ratio. Okay, we are going to discuss thoroughly. Okay, first one is based on shape. Okay, this one is really easy. By the shape we can understand what type of column it is. Okay, shape, maybe square, rectangular. These are common columns which are generally used in the construction process. This is circular column. These columns, they depend on the requirement or the demand of the architectural plan. And this L type, these are rarely used. These are mostly used in the bridges. Okay, T type column. This is a square column. Okay, minimum reinforcement bar should be 4. In rectangular also minimum reinforcement bar should be 4. In circular column minimum reinforcement bar should be 6. 1 2 3 4 5 6. In T type, depend on the type of structure. L type also depend on the type of loading. Okay, this was based on shape. Okay, now we are going to discuss based on type of, based on reinforcement. Okay, second one, based on reinforcement. Depending on the reinforcement, columns are classified into 3 types. First one is tied columns, second one is spiral columns, third one is composite columns. Okay, for example, now I am going to discuss about tied columns. Okay, this is your columns and this is your main bars, and these are your lateral ties. If the spacing between the lateral ties is very low, then these types of columns are called tied columns. Okay. These are usually used in the earthquake prone areas or maybe hilly areas. Okay. These are known as tied columns. Spiral columns. If the column is of circular shape and the lateral and the ties are of spiral shape and their spacing is very low, okay, low spacing between the stirrups or ties is also called as confinement area, confinement area, okay, confinement area. These are also known as spiral columns. Composite columns. Composite columns also known as the combination of reinforcement and the steel with the concrete. Okay, I am going to just give you a 2D view of that. This is the column and this is the steel, which may be of I section or maybe of circular shape. Okay, combination of this is known as composite column. Okay. Now we are going to discuss based on the type of loading. Okay. Based on type of loading. First one is axially loaded columns. What is axially loaded columns? For example, if this is a column and your y-axis goes from here and the x-axis goes from here, the load of the column directly lies on the axis is known as axially loaded columns. Okay, axially loaded columns. Second one is eccentrically loaded columns. For example, this was your neutral axis. This is your neutral axis, and if the load acts away from the neutral axis, either maybe x or y, is known as eccentrically loaded columns. This load is acting away from the axis, so this is eccentrically loaded columns. Okay. And the third one is based on slenderness ratio. B1. In slenderness ratio, columns are divided into two types. First one is short column and the second one is long column. Okay. Short column is defined as effective length of the column by least lateral dimension of the column should be less than 12. Okay. If it is greater than, this is known as short column. Okay. What is long column? If the least lateral dimension, effective length of the column by least lateral dimension is greater than 12 is known as long column. So friends, this was about the column in the first class. The rest of the things we are going to discuss in the next class. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.